What motorcycle did I pick for my massive adventure that will traverse from Medellin, Colombia to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil? Well, I'm gonna answer that question right now. Freaking sweet. Oh! Good morning and good evening and welcome back to my second video here on the channel. Well, you guys are seeing it as the second video, but actually right now I filmed over 20 videos. I am actually currently in Iquitos in the middle of the Amazon, but I'm filming the second video now and I'm here to answer the question that you've all been wondering. What motorcycle am I going to pick, or did I pick, because this is from the future. What motorcycle did I pick for my massive adventure that will traverse from Medellin, Colombia to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil? Well, I'm gonna answer that question right now. Boom. This is the motorcycle that I have chosen for the trip, and I'm actually significantly into the trip. As you can see, it is a AKT TT DS 200. So it is a Chinese brand. It's a Chinese brand Colombian motorcycle. It is a 200cc trusty engine, so it's not that strong. It outputs like 16.5 horsepower and 15.5 Newton meters of torque. So it's not a strong motorcycle. It's not a big motorcycle, but it's perfect for here in South America. It weighs roughly 130 kilograms, so 290 pounds wet, which means it weighs 290 pounds with all of the gasoline and oil and brake fluid, everything inside of it, ready to go. That makes it a very lightweight bike. In fact, it's a dual sport, which means it is meant for a little bit of off-road and a little bit of on-road. It's not meant for adventure riding, and it's not meant for complete enduro, which is like dirt tracks. It's an in-between bike. So let's get into the reasoning on why I decided to go with this. One of the big reasons is price. I got an absolutely amazing deal on this bike when I was buying it because I bought it from Bill, another gringo in Medellin. He gave me a very good deal on it, so I picked it up for 6.9 million Colombian pesos, which comes out to $1,700-ish. I'll put on the screen the exact price with the conversion. That's a great price for the bike because it is actually a pretty good bike. Even though it is a Chinese motor, it's one of the nicer ones. And it does come with all the bells and whistles. Has the fog lights, little rally windscreen, and it does have a bigger gas tank. It has a 13.1 liter gas tank, which is very important for someone doing a trip like mine. So the price was very important for me. The second thing is that it's a Chinese motorcycle. Most of the motorcycles here are Chinese motorcycles. One of the big things that I wanted when buying this bike is I didn't want to stick out. Obviously, if you go out and buy like a BMW, a KLR, a Honda CRF 300 Rally, here you're gonna stick out. I mean, look at the backdrop to this video. It is literally improvised housing. That is what it's like here in South America. So having a motorcycle that, you know, blends in, except for the Colombian plate, but the rest of it blends in, is very important. I wanted to avoid being an active target for ladrones, estafas, people that are looking to steal my motorcycle. By having a Chinese motorcycle that is not too big, not too small, just good enough to get where I'm wanting to go, I'm kind of hiding. I'm avoiding being a massive target for people that want to rob me. For example, look at these other bikes. We have the YTZ, Honda Tornado. They're all 200, 125, or in the Tornado, a 250cc bike. Most of the bikes here fall within that 110 to 250 cc's. It's really the sweet spot. And by picking this bike specifically, I'm able to blend in with the locals while still being able to do highway mileage at highway speeds. But at the same time, I can take this thing onto some dirt track, some single track, pretty rough, gnarly terrain that you wouldn't be able to do with maybe a bigger 400cc, 500cc, larger, heavier bike. With this one, I can do it. And I can also do highway speeds, and I can blend in. It's really perfect. So now I'll give you a close-up of it, really. So, yeah, it's the TT Dual Sport from AKT, which is a Colombian brand. You know, have this little windscreen that was added on, and fog lights, which were added on before me. That was not me. But I have some good 80-20 wheels, 80% on the road, 20% off-road. Comes with the crash bars. It has a lot of suspension travel. I'm not sure exactly how much, but I believe it's like 13 inches of ground clearance, which is very important for me, for someone that's going off-road a bunch and whatnot. By the way, it is not a fuel-injected bike. It is a carbureted bike, which is one of the other things that, ironically, I was looking for. Even though, yes, fuel-injected are typically more reliable. They get better gas mileage, they work better at elevation. All of that is all cool and dandy, but with a trip the size of mine, I'm not really looking to completely prevent problems. It's like what I would always tell my dad. I'm an engineer, and I always say, man, whoever designed this designed it terribly because it broke. And he always said, no, they designed it terribly because you're not able to fix it. With that in mind, I didn't get a fuel-injected bike because none of the bikes here are fuel-injected. So when I have a problem, not if, when I have a problem, I will be able to fix it because it's a very rudimentary, basic bike with very minimal technology. Any mechanic here can fix it. And like I was saying, with a trip the size of mine, it's not really if I'll have a problem, it's when I'll have a problem, because it will happen. It already has happened, and I'm thankful that I had this bike where I was able to get it repaired cheaply, efficiently, and was able to ride it literally the next day. Okay, I'm literally dying out here from the heat. So let's hop on this bike and ride it around for a few minutes. Show you what it's like to ride it here in Iquitos. Alrighty, with that being said, let's take it on a little bit of a ride. I just put my tool bag on the back because right now we're actually going to be driving to the ferry port here in Iquitos because tomorrow we're heading off to Manaus. But that is for a different video. This video, oh my God, I just burnt my nutsack. Yep, I just burnt my balls. That was so hot. So yeah, carbureted bike. So sometimes at altitude, it's a little bit of a dick. But let's see if I can do this. Alrighty, now we're on the road. So yeah, it has 16.5 horsepower, which in terms of the US is really not a lot. But here in South America, this thing has a ridiculous amount of horsepower. Especially when I'm looking at all of these Hondas over here in front of me, these Honda trikes. These are all 110cc Honda CBs. Those things have literally 7.5 horsepower. And they're on 3 wheels carrying passengers. That, once again, literally makes my bike a goddamn rocket ship. Which is funny because to anybody that's, you know, a rider in the US, you hear 16.5 horsepower and you laugh. This thing on a flat ground I bet you that 65 is the maximum that you could reliably do. But once again, here in South America, that is more than sufficient. So while I'm out here driving, we might as well talk about the other bikes that I potentially could have picked, but decided not to. So to start off, I could have picked the Honda XR190. The XR150 was recently released in the US. However, here in South America, they also have a 190cc version of the bike. Yes, I could have picked this bike. It is the same amount of horsepower. It's almost the same bike as this, except it's fuel injected, which is just, you know, usually better for high altitude. However, as you can see based off of the heat, I am at sea level on the equator. The route that I decided to choose to go to Brazil involved most of my driving at sea level. So for me, having a carburetor obviously wasn't a deal breaker. Also, the Honda is ridiculously more expensive. Like, I would have ended up paying probably close to double the price to get a Honda with the same specs as this. That's ridiculous. And also the parts. To fix a Honda when you have problems, it's really expensive. Compared to this Chinese bike, all of the 200cc Chinese motors are made by the same company and use the same parts. So I can get this fixed whenever, wherever. So as you can see, I'm just now arriving to the port. I need to load this bike up. In front of me is the boat that I'll be taking to Leticia or Santa Rosa, which is the border. And we're gonna be loading up this bike in 1 minute. But with that being said, I'm actually gonna end the vlog here. I just wanted to show you guys the bike that I chose for this adventure and why I chose it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one where we actually start our adventure. We get on the road and we leave Medellin. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe. Catch you next one.